Our nighttime temperatures are finally predicted to stay above 50 degrees, which means it's time to turn my tired spring beds into a full color explosion. In the shady areas of my front yard, I'm going to be planting impatiens, which create a soft carpet of color. Now, my mother planted these under all of our big trees when I was growing up, so this always reminds me of my childhood. But in the sunny areas of my yard, I'm going to be planting SunPatiens like these that I overwintered, as well as some gorgeous, colorful petunias, which are really going to make my front yard pop. I'll also share some ways that I save money on my annual plantings so that you can too. Step number 1 in this process is to weed, feed, and put down a pre-emergent. So first I'm going to take all the weeds out of my bed. Next, it'll be time to feed with a slow release organic fertilizer. I'm going to be using flower tone for my sunny areas and plant tone for my shady areas. And then if you'd like to use a pre-emergent like preen in order to prevent weeds from coming later in the season, now's the time to do that as well. If you need to add topsoil to your beds because you lost some to erosion last year, you want to weed, then lay your topsoil down, and then feed on top of that. If you put the fertilizer down below the topsoil and then you plant, the fertilizer may not reach the roots of your new plants. Now that the beds are weeded, I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle some flower tone all up and down this bed and then rake it into the soil. I'm also going to put some flower tone into each hole of the plants and mix that in as well to give them the best feeding so that they will explode in blooms this year. Usually my SunPatiens are so big that they're almost like small shrubs. They are amazing. They're my favorite annual, and that's why I overwinter them every year and replant them. Back when my daffodils came up, I also sprinkled some fertilizer into these beds to feed the soil so that they could feed my plants this time of year.
Moments that never last. We're flying free in the light we see. Colors paint the sky for you.
So let's talk about the flowers and how you can save some money on your annual plantings the way that I do. SunPatiens are a great choice if you have a sunny area of your yard, and these things root like crazy. So even if you don't overwinter them the way I do, you can buy them early from your garden center and have cuttings ready to plant in about 2 to 3 weeks. Here's a tray that I did just a few weeks ago, and you can see that already this is well rooted and ready to go into a bigger pot or into the ground. And all of the SunPatiens that I planted today are cuttings that I did from some mother plants that I dug up from my landscape last fall before the frost set in. I took cuttings in the early part of the spring and they were rooted, big and beautiful, and many of them are already blooming. So you can take 1, 2, or 3 plants and turn them into 15, 20, or 25 plants in just a few weeks. And all you really need is a seed tray, some light, and humidity. If you've never rooted cuttings before and you think that it might not be for you, I'll tell you it's a lot easier than you probably think. The next 2 months, I'm going to be doing a ton of propagation videos on rooting cuttings of plants that I use over and over, and even some plants that I sell. So if you're not subscribed, be sure to do that so that you don't miss any of those videos. If you don't have time to propagate, then another tip that I have for you is to check your clearance racks. I love clearance plant shopping, and most of the plants that I have in my yard, whether they're perennials or annuals, came from clearance plants that I bought usually at Lowe's or Home Depot. And this is a prime example of that. I just got this one. This was on clearance. It was originally $6 and I paid about $4 for it. And while it's a little bit leggy, once this goes in the ground, it is going to take off because the roots are intact and healthy. Once this gets into the ground, it's going to go like gangbusters, and nobody will ever be able to tell that I paid $2 less per plant by buying them from the clearance rack. Now, they had the exact same plant for full price. It just looked a little bit fuller. Even if you see plants on the clearance rack that have some dead stems, you can always prune them back. That when you prune a plant, Usually you take one stem and you get two, which makes your plant look fuller anyway. Now this is Supertunia saffron finch. I'm going to be planting these along with the SunPatiens, and I really love the color combination of this bright sunny yellow with the dark pink and the white that I have in my SunPatiens. I think they're going to look really beautiful together, but I also wanted something a little bit deeper. So I got these beautiful purple petunias, and these were only $2.50 each. This is an unpatented variety. Now these are not going to get as big as my proven winners, so these I'll plant a little bit closer together, and I'll give the Supertunias a little bit more space because they tend to get bigger. Now, depending on where you live, your petunias may or may not love full sun. Here in Zone 7 of the Northeast, they can take quite a bit of sun because it doesn't get as hot as fast. This unpatented variety of petunia is going to look beautiful. You can see that it is very compact and has tons of stems and many, many buds. So this is going to explode as soon as I get them in the ground with a little bit of fertilizer. And I really love the contrast of this deep, rich purple with the light yellow and the pink of my SunPatiens. But because this is an unpatented variety, it is much cheaper for growers to produce, and therefore that savings comes down to us as buyers. And my star of the shade is these regular impatiens. Now these are also unpatented. They were $4 for an 8-pack, and these will get really big as the summer goes on in the shade. Now because these are shade plants, they're not as heavy feeders as the SunPatiens and the petunias. Both of those being in full sun will be very heavy feeders. So if you really want them to explode and become huge and full of blooms, you need to feed them well. I use Flower Tone for my slow release, but then every 2 weeks or so during the summer, I'll hit them with a liquid fertilizer that is really going to make them get big and make those flowers show up everywhere. For shade plants, it's a little bit different. As a general rule, they're not as heavy feeders as the annuals that you would plant in the sun. And one other tip that I have for you is that if you're planting annuals like SunPatiens or petunias into pots, you need to fertilize them more often than you do in the ground, because with the constant watering, that extra water that you need in the pot is going to leach out that fertilizer. So you'll need to re-up a little bit more often than you would if they were planted in the ground. Impatiens, being shade-loving plants, don't need as much fertilizer. They feed much more lightly, and as a general rule, that is true of most shade plants. You don't want to over-fertilize these, or you'll get tons of nice green leaves and no flowers. I'm glad to see these back because a few years ago, most crops of impatiens were wiped out with mildew, and it was a little while before we got them back. So I'm happy to see these back in my garden center, looking beautiful, and I can't wait to get them in the ground and have them grow together into that soft carpet that I was telling you about before. Now it's time to go from bare soil to a riot of color. So here we are all planted, and you can see all these gorgeous colors together. And here is one of the mother plants of the SunPatiens that I overwintered. And this is one that I took cuttings from, and already those cuttings are huge. Here's an example of what one of those cuttings looks like now. And it won't be long, just a few weeks, until they start to explode and become as big as the mother plants that you see here in my walkway. When you're looking at my beds, you can see that I have the spent stems of my daffodils and even some tulips still in this bed. And while it can be tempting to cut them back this time of year because they do look a little bit messy, you have to remember that they act as solar panels to feed the rest of the plant so that they can come back big and beautiful next year. So if you cut them back this time of year, next year your plants will look weak and they may not even bloom. So while it can be tempting, leave those stems to feed the plant and don't cut them back until they turn yellow and start to flop over. Tell me in the comments, what is your favorite annual to plant? And do you have something from your childhood that you still plant every year? I'd love to know. And now it's time for me to go mulch these in. So thank you so much for watching today. Have a great day.